Today we are going to see the topics a list in Python. So what is list? List it is a sequence of element which can stored in a single variable. So why we need a list? List it contains more number of values. It can be stored in a single variable. The variable and the values are maybe in a different data types. It may be integer, it may be a string, or it may be a float values. Whatever we want, you can store it in a single variable using a list. So why it is list? List is a sequence of values which can be a different types. So each element in a list is called as an items. When we represent a list using this square bracket, creating a list, how to create a list? We can use the square bracket. We create a list. For example, I'm creating one list. The list contains some values 10, 20, 30, 40 like that. If you want to add multiple data types in a single list means you can use within the square bracket, we can insert multiple values with the different data types. 100, it is a numeric value. Python, it is a string type. 8.02, it is a floating values. So that is possible in list. We can store multiple values at the same time. We can store the different data types values in a single variable. Next, what is the operation of a list? There are a number of operations there in list. Why we need an operation? When we manipulate the list, whatever we require, so you have to implement that operation. Okay, so here some list operations are there. One is indexing, concatenation of a list, repetition of a list, slicing, and membership. So we what is accessing link list elements? Okay, or we can say that it is an indexing. Accessing means whenever we need any values from the list, we can able to access. That is called accessing. How you are going to access a list values? Using an indexing. Indexing means the values is stored in the particular position values. For example, here I am using a list one that contains the number of values 10, 20, 30, 40. Every list elements start with the 0 index. Okay, in that list 10 is the 0th index value. In the list 20 is the first index value, 30 is the second index value, goes on like this. Whenever we access a list using an index, we can able to access. For example, I want to access this. I want to access the index position 1 value means I can represent list 1 of the square bracket. You can mention the index value. I get the value of the index position value. Suppose we can use another data type. This is another data types A, B, C. So when we access that element, the same procedure is going to be followed. I want to access the position of second value means you can use the index. Okay, so whenever we need, we can access any element from the list, we can use index. That is called as an indexing. And next operation is concatenation. Why we need a concatenation operation? Suppose we can add multiple list. You are going to join all the list in a single list value means we can use the concatenation. Concatenation means just it is joining all the values from the different list. It can be stored in a single list value. Okay, here Python using concatenation operator is plus. It is not a additional operator, but in Python this plus operator used for concatenation. So here I am giving some example. A is equal to some value, B is equal to some value. I need both the list value which can be stored it into another list. That is C. So I am using here is the concatenation operator as plus. C equal to A plus B. So what are the values is in A and what are the values in B? Both are combined and print the result. Okay. That is concatenation operation. That means combine all the values. What are all the data you have to combine using this operator, concatenation operator. Next one is the repetition. Why we need a repetition? For example, the data is again and again the same list of values again and again. I want to repeat more than one time means we can use the repetition operator. Here in Python, the repetition operator is star. So here I am give some example. A is equal to some values, B is equal to some value. I want to print the list A values 2 times means A, we can represent as A star 2. Automatically the same value appears 2 times in the list. Okay, that is called as a repetition. Whatever repetition you need, you just give that number. If you need 2 times means give the 2. If you have 3 times we need print means you can give 3. Okay, like that. You have to use this operator, repetition operator. Along with the repetition operator, you are going to print the result. Next one is list slicing. What is slicing means here some of the range value we can extract from the original list means that is called list slicing. So one of the operator here we are going to use it colon operator. So what is list? User can access the range of item in a list. What is range of item? We need some particular element from the list. For example, I am list having 10 elements means I can only access from the list 2 to 5 that element I need means we can use this list slicing. Along with the colon operator, we are getting to the list slicing. Okay, this is the syntax list value. What is the starting position? What is the ending position? What is the step position? We need to mention these 3 things. If you use some the starting position and end position and step point means automatically based on this we are going to collect that range of element from the list. What is start? Start means where index value, where the position you want to get from the list. That is called as a start position. Always you are going to give the index value of each and every one. Start, stop and step. Okay. For example, I access only those elements from 0th position to 5th position means starting position as 0 and stopping position is 5. Okay. So that is very simple. So when we represent this one along with this colon operator, what is step means if you want to get some particular element within the range means you can give us a step pointer. For example, I want to access only the positional value 1, 3, 5, something like that, or 2, 4, 6, something like that. Whatever you give some interval from the list means based on the interval, it is automatically collect all the values based on this list. Okay. If you are not giving any step means automatically default it is set as 1. So then this is one example, list 1, some values there. I want to access that position 0th position to 1 position value means just to give the square bracket. Within the square bracket, you have to mark 0th value, starting value as 0 and ending position is 1. Here I am not mentioning any step pointer. So it is automatically set as 1. Okay. So what is this 0, 1? Always the stop position is calculated as n minus 1. When we give 1 means 1 minus 1 it is equal to 0. So that's why the 10 is going to be print. Okay. Starting position always what is you are going to give it is directly applied to the starting position. But you have to mark the stop position means it is always calculated as n minus 1. Whatever the position you are giving in the stop position, it is decremented by 1. Okay, that is the end position. So 0, 1, always it is going to be calculated the position as 0, 0. That position is, the value is 10. That is going to be print. Next, this is another example. I am giving one example. Number is equal to some values is there. I want to print that only the index position value 1 to 4 means just to give the 4 starting position as 1 and ending position as 4. Automatically we collect the values. Okay. Then if you give starting stop position, it is automatically aligned. Suppose you are not giving any start position or stop position, that is also possible. We are going to omit the start position and stop position. Automatically this default set as some values. For example, I'm not giving any start. Here some example is there. Print numbers within the bracket colon 4. That means I'm not giving any starting position. Okay, is automatically default set as the index value is 0 and ending position is 4. So it's will be calculated 4 minus 1, it is 3. Okay, from 0 to 3 index values we can able to access 0, 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 40. That's going to be print. Okay, suppose you are not giving any stop position means I'm giving I'm going to give some start value, but I'm not mentioning the stop value, but it is automatically set as default at the end of the list. Okay, whatever be the end of the list, it is going to be print. Okay, here 3 colon, I'm not giving any stop value, so that's why it is going to be print at the last element. Okay, so the fourth position, so fourth index value is 10 is 0, 1, 2, 3. Fourth index value is 40. From 40 to 70 is going to be print. Okay. So suppose you are going to give some step value means automatically the step value is going to be calculated. Here I am giving the step value as 2. 2 means it is going to be incremented each and element in the second position values. So start with the 0th index value and next index value is 2 and next index value is 4 and 6 and 8 like that. Okay, it is going to be incremented. That is also possible. And next one is negative indexing. What is negative indexing? For example, I'm going to display all the values. I want to print all the values from the last element to first element means no need to write a program in the looping statement. You just give some index value when we print the reverse order. Okay, just to give the value as -1. The index value is -1. Automatically it is going to be print. Okay. The next one is membership operator. In Python, membership operator, 2 types of membership operator is there. One is in, another one is not in. So always it is going to be used in the Python looping statements. Whenever we use a looping statement, we can use this. For example, I want to check some data is available in your list. Means we can use it in or not in operator. Okay. For example, here I am using one example, fruits. It contains 3 values, apple, banana, and cherry. So suppose I want to check that value is appears in this list or not. So I want to print apple in fruit. Fruit is a list. The list contains 3 values. So one of the value is apple, that is going to be appear in your list. If it is appeared means that result is true, otherwise it is going to be false. Okay. So in that sense, we are going to get it the values from the list. So these are all some basic operations of a list. Apart from this, a list having number of methods. So these are all some kind of methods used in a list. It is a predefined method. Whenever we need, we can use this functions. Automatically, we get some result. Okay. So len, it is an len. It is how many elements it's present in your list. Just using this method, you can access how many element is present in your list. len, it is written the length of the list, how many elements appear in your list. Okay. Min of list, it is another one function in a list. It returns the minimum values in the list. Which element is the minimum among those all the values? Okay, it is going to be printed. The same way, maximum, which is the maximum element in the list, it is going to be printed. And next one is append. So suppose you can add some items in the existing elements. Existing list values means you can use append. Already the list having some values. I want to add some another one element into the list means you just use an append method. Inside the append method, we mention what is your values. You have to mark the particular values. Automatically that is going to be updated. Okay. So next method is insert. What is the difference between append and list means? Append means always the value is added in the end of the list. But insert means which position you are going to insert some values. Okay, that is the simple difference between append and insert. If you want to insert the first position, some values means you can mark as that position and that value. Both are you should mark here in this function. Then only it is going to be add. And count. Next method is count. What is count? How many times appears the particular values? Suppose I want to count the 10 is how many times appeared in my list means you just give that value automatically how many times it is going to be appear. Okay. Next is extend. Extend means you can combine both the list value. It is more or less like as a concatenation operator. Okay. So it is, we can combine both the list means automatically use the extend methods. Then index. Already I discussed what is index. We can able to access the particular position of a value, and remove when whatever you want remove the values from the list, you can use remove. So more than one values appear in your list means the first occurrence of the value is going to be removed. Okay, so that is the very important point in remove method. And reverse, if you want to display or if you want to print all the values in the reverse order means you can use reverse method. Okay, and then copy, you just copy one more time the same value again means you can use the that say it is going to be copied into the new list. Okay, that is copy method. Clear means if you remove all the values in the list means just you can use a clear method. Okay, so that is some kind of methods used in a list.